Leaves are falling apart again. Okay. Leeds United. Sorry. Oh, I'll compose myself. If entertainment and tragedy was a football club, it'd be Leeds. And you can say what you like, because yes, I'm a Sheffield United fan. Oh, you conceded over 100 goals. Oh, you finished bottom last season. Yes. Yes, we did. But where were you? Bottling automatic promotion and losing in the playoff final to Southampton. And look at where they are now. Rock bottom. 10 points. 19 points from safety. And you lost to them. Enough of that. About a month ago, yes, you did get the win over us, beating Sheffield United 3-1 and Sunderland 2-1, which were massive, massive games for them. Look, they looked like they might break the curse, that they had something different. Leeds, obviously known for collapsing when the pressure got tough. Well, after beating Sheffield United and Sunderland, they were building somewhat of a gap. 5 points ahead at the top of the league. All they had to do was continue winning their home games and not do anything silly away. And they're there. The Premier League. But wow. 1 win in their last 5. Winning against Millwall and dropping points against the likes of West Brom, QPR, Swansea, and then losing to Portsmouth. 17th in the league, Portsmouth. And as of recording this, they have a game coming up at Kenilworth Road to face 23rd in the league, Luton. If they keep going how they have been, they could be in for a struggle. People have been looking for someone to blame for this bad run of form, and to be fair, the club as a whole isn't really as cohesive as they would want it to be. But the name on the tip of Leeds fans' tongues: Ian Meslier. They don't trust him. Simple as. Not one Leeds fan trusts that man between the sticks. And by the looks of it, he doesn't even trust himself. He was brought in as a young player from France back in 2019, and he had a decent ability for his age, and you could sense that he could definitely become one of the next best goalkeepers for Leeds and in football as a whole. It was a good idea. Was a good idea. As of now, it seems the more he plays, the worse he gets. He simply has not been good enough, and he is quite frankly getting worse. A brilliant stat is a goals prevented stat, simply done by XG. So if you're a keeper and you save a shot with an XG of 0.16, that would be added onto your tally. So let's have a look at this stat for the Championship this season. For example, James Trafford, Michael Cooper, and also Victor Johansson for Stoke are some of the so-called better goalkeepers in the league. James Trafford has a stat of 11.5, Johansson has 10.5, and Michael Cooper has a solid 6.5. But where's Meslier, I hear you ask? 19th. He's 19th out of 23 goalkeepers in the league. Just going to let that sink in. 19th. Wow. He's in the negatives. Minus 2.7 goals prevented is not what you want from a goalkeeper of a team pushing for the league title. He gives the other team goals. He doesn't save them. Excuse me. Players around him, for example, are Lawrence Vigouroux of Swansea, who are 16th, and Thomas Kaminski of Luton, who are 23rd. And Leeds are trying to push for the title. And they're in the same Their goalkeeper is in the same bracket as 16th and 23rd. Amazing that. At this point, Joe Rodon is one more mistake away from decking Meslier on the pitch. He is awful. I don't think I've seen a Leeds game and Meslier has ever saved the game for them. He doesn't. He hasn't done that this year. So some examples of how Meslier has absolutely stacked it this year for Leeds. Where do I start? Hull. Let's go for Hull. A 3-3 draw against relegation struggling Hull. Scoring 3 goals away from home should basically result in a win, but it didn't. For Hull's first goal, Meslier was just stood outside his 18-yard box completely in no man's land. Like, what's he doing? What is he doing there? Maybe you could understand a mistake like that once every now and then, but it's not every now and then. In that same game, the ball is up in the air in a bit of an awkward position, but instead of tipping it over the bar, being safe, he's tried to catch it, and he subsequently dropped it, and it fell into the path of, oh yeah, a Hull City striker, and then went on to draw the game. The worst one for me is Sunderland. Clearly. Earlier on in the year, like October time, big game. They were doing really well, 2-1 up in the last couple of seconds. The ball is slowly bouncing, trickling towards Meslier, with no pressure around him whatsoever. There's not even a single player within about 2 meters of him, and the ball just went through his legs. Something you see in a Division 5 under-10 Sunday League match, not in professional football. Overall, I know I've just focused on one player and I've just been ripping into him over and over, but if you're being paid the amount of money he is, and you can't even do your job, something needs to change, and that comes from the manager. In any other job, if you're underperforming, you get fired. But Daniel Farke doesn't seem to want to do that, and honestly I can't blame him for wanting to destroy Leeds fans' hearts.